Hi everyone, my name is Jinsel Park. I go by she, her pronouns. I'm a sixth college, fourth year education studies major. And one interesting fact about myself is that I have a pretty sick Kirby, you know, trinket. Uh, but all right. I wanted to talk about some of the understandings and findings of early childhood education based on the readings that I've had. But from the reading and reflecting on the Guide of Selecting Anti-Bias Children's Books by Louise Durbin Sparks, I found that I've never truly understood at what capacity the children's book selection at an ECEC has been. And I've learned that many of the efforts of getting DEI books can be challenging just by the sheer costs of children's books, which makes me think about how equity gaps can show. And I did enjoy having a comprehensive guide that guided me to be more conscious about anti-bias books. And I remember reading the Name book by Yang Suk Choi last quarter, and I felt so empowered and seen because I resonated with a lot of the challenges that the main character had faced. And within Ibram X. Kendi's article, My Family Doll Test, I learned that the habits of racial prejudice and the results of learned behavior, which can be developed by children as young as 5, was quite striking. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about the generations that grew up with these simulations of racial violence as a game. This article really just emphasized the impacts that Black children face due to the segregation that they face in society, and that was quite striking as well. After this article, I feel like I will be more conscious when it comes to looking at what types of toys are, put into a classroom at certain centers, and how play helps a kid's brain grow. The TED Talk by Jesse Ohart was pretty refreshing to hear about because from all my experiences and from learning from educators, it's all pointed to the positive development that comes from that back and forth interaction and learning through play. And I just hope to see more classrooms within the context of early childhood education, especially at public schools, adopt more of a constructivist approach when it comes to curriculum. And within the early childhood education's roots in social justice, I found Dr. Aruka's publication quite frustrating to read about, especially in the sense of Dr. Robinson and her son's experience with the early childhood education, along with the evidence that shows that Black and Brown students face more consequences than any of their peers, just really shows that we're far from being anti-biased in our education system. And also that example of the seminal study of Walter Gilliam that showed the implicit biases that teachers hold and act upon is sort of always in my mind when it comes to thinking about education. And that I have a very complicated relationship, which I hope to learn a little bit more about, especially with language, as I progress through this quarter. But I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and hearing about your insights. Thank you guys so much.